Om Sai Ram to everyone. I'm back with the fourth episode of Shree Sai Karunamrit, and today we have our guest Sougata ji with us from Bangalore, and we are really blessed and honored. It's a privilege to have you on this brand new conversation show or whatever you may call it. It's a platform where devotees are coming and sharing their experiences. And yes, we are preaching the glories of Baba worldwide. This is how we all get bliss. And now, yes, over to you, Shogataji. I would like to know from you about your experiences.
Thank you, Pritamji. I think your page and through your page, what you are doing, you are spreading the leelas of Baba uh, to devotees, future devotees across the world. I think it's a beautiful thing that you're doing, and I'm also very blessed and honored to be one part of your family and to getting this opportunity to speak to you. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. I am really honored
Even we
that
are
you've given
honored
me
to be
this
associated
opportunity.
with sincere devotees like you.
Thank you so much. I think it is all Baba's Leelas, right? We all are devotees because he wants us to be his devotees.
Absolutely.
And we just, kind of following what he wants us to do. Um, yeah, so I think um, in my association with Baba, um, I, it's kind of recent, right? It's been around maybe 3, 4 years that I have really gotten drawn to him. If you ask me that if one particular incident which led me to, getting attached to him, perhaps I'll
Yes.
not be able to find that one incident, right? Uh,
Okay.
I just recollect, right? I did my MBA in Pune, and when I was in Pune, for 2 years I was in Pune, and Shirdi to Pune is not very far, right? But I could never get a chance to visit Shirdi back then, right? There was absolutely no reason for me to not do that. I was, of course, drawn to Baba even then, but not as much, perhaps, or perhaps he wasn't drawn to me as much that he didn't call me to Pune from Pune to Shirdi. So it didn't happen. My first visit to Shirdi was more than a decade back when I started working in Bombay, and that's when I visited him. But I would say that even then, while I believed in him, I believed in God, I was not really, drawn towards him uh, uh, back then, right? There was love, there was respect, but the attachment was not as strong, I would say. It
Maybe
just
the
started
perfect
happening, I
time did
think,
not come. It's all his wish.
absolutely. Absolutely. So I think that makes me believe it even stronger that, how much ever we wish for things, unless he wishes that, those wishes are not realized, right? So I was actually drawn to him in the last 3, 4 years, right? And as I said, there is no particular incident that drawn me towards him. But yes, if I can, think of one such incident is, around 3, 4 years back, my father was fell a little unwell, and
Mhm.
it was a little serious stuff, and that's when out of with like, there are so many gods that we believe in, and each one of them is special. Each one of them is close to all of us. Uh, but suddenly during that period, I prayed to Sai Baba, and there were some things which I asked him to do, and he did that and much more. So my father was serious for a short period of time, but he healed also very fast, right? So that is when I think that was the time when uh, I, kind of for the first time I felt that he is special and he listens to his devotees if you are earnestly praying to him. And while I think that is perhaps one of the early incidences which really drawn me towards him. And after that, there have been a series of other incidents which happened, right? And then gradually one thing led to another, and I found myself drawn to him very strongly, right? Um, Another incident that I recollect is a very small incident, though, but a very special and a very sweet one. Uh, so there was, since I follow a lot of Sai Baba pages on Instagram, I
Mhm.
normally begin my day uh, by reading some of the messages or some of the stories that come up on those pages, right?
Yes.
And one of those days that I'm talking about, the first lockdown during COVID, when we were all at home and there was a lot of, uncertainties around all of us, not so great news coming around. So one of those days when I woke up and I read a message that, somebody had posted that Baba is asking for khichdi as, bhog for that day, right? And well, I read the message and I, kind of during the course of the day, I forgot, or I did not give it much significance. And the day passed on as usual. Later in the night, right, um, out of the blue, my mother asked that, I'm not, she said that I'm not, feeling too well and I will just make khichdi for myself. Does anybody else want to eat? Right?
Oh,
I This was completely out of the blue, and there was, so normally we don't have khichdi in the night, and
yeah.
suddenly, and I still remember we were watching KBC at that time, and she suddenly said that, would you? I'm making khichdi for myself. Would anybody else want to have? And that's when I remembered the message that I had read in the morning. And I was
Mm.
immediately like, okay, this is what I had read, and mom, I would want you to, offer a bowl of khichdi to Baba as well. So yeah, I think that was one thing which, suddenly made me feel that, right? Even though I had forgotten during the course of the day, he found out his way of, reminding me.
He
And
always
that
like
was
proves
definitely
that
special.
he is present as a part of our life in our everyday lives. He does many such things which are a proof of it that he is always there with us. Indeed.
Absolutely. And yeah, and I think then thereafter there are so many other things. So again, this is something which I experience almost uh, every day or every time I'm driving, and my drive to work is a little distance every day. I need to drive 1 hour up, 1 hour down. So whenever I'm driving and if suddenly I remember something about Baba, I will suddenly see uh, either the car in front of me will have his photo, or if I'm looking outside, I will see, uh, a shop which is, Sai Chemist, right?
Mm.
Something which is related to him will suddenly pop up, right? It could
Mm.
be his photograph, it could be his a shop which is named after him, it could be anything, right? But and it
Yes.
has happened so many times, right? It has happened absolutely so many times that, of course, I know there is a Sai Baba idol in my car as well, but apart from that, right? So whenever some thought of his flashes my mind, I, kind of get to see him in front in some form or the other, right? So, and that has happened so many times, right? It has happened so many times that it makes me believe that yes, he is omnipresent, right? And he's there everywhere, and every time his devotees think about him, he makes sure that in some way or the other, he makes his presence felt, right? And the another such incident is one of my ex colleagues, and he works in Bombay, and
Mm.
he messaged me, and he had no idea about me being such an ardent follower or devotee of Sai. Uh, the other day he messaged me. He said that he works in Bombay, and he's like, from his home to work, whenever he used to drive, there is a Sai temple that he crosses. Right? He's like, every time I cross the temple, uh, I thought of you, right? And he didn't know anything that that I am a follower of Sai Baba, or my love for him. He had no idea about it. He's
Okay.
like, every time I cross that temple, I used to think about it. It was sudden flash of thought, and he's like, that's when, and his wife was also our colleague, right? So, and I'm in touch with his wife, right? So she knew that I am a big Sai Baba devotee. So he's like, one fine day I, told this to my wife that every time I cross this temple, I think about Sougata. Uh, and that's when she told that, and she showed the photographs of Sai from my puja altar, that I share with her. And she's like,
Mm.
that is when I told him, or my wife told me that, oh, you didn't know that, he is a, devotee of Sai. And he had no idea about it. I hadn't spoken with him. He hadn't seen my stories. There are no social media connect, nothing, right? So in a way, yes, I think that was also very special. That there is no reason as to why he would suddenly think about me when crossing a Sai temple, right? I think these are some small incidents which make me feel very, very special and drawn to him, right? And so, yeah, I think today also the Baba behind me, and there are maybe there are close to 40 Sai Baba idols, photographs, inscriptions,
Yes.
which are there all over my house. I have a tattoo of Sai on my arm.
We
And
devotees
so
want to see him
today,
everywhere in our houses. It's the same with my house
absolutely,
as
absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is, one thing which I feel very strongly about is uh, uh, I consider him as a member of my family. I
well.
consider him as my friend. Uh, I don't, like, of course, he is what he is. He is God. He's everything. But I don't really, I'm not, I don't, really think of him as God, right? I think of him as somebody
But he
who's
was
a
very
friend,
dear,
who's a
near to me,
well-wisher.
who is my family member,
Absolutely.
my
Absolutely, who
eternal
is somebody
love.
who is somebody who is concerned about me, somebody
Yes.
who is there to protect me, and so that's the way I treat him, right?
Yeah, that's
And
the
that's
very
a very,
feeling which
very,
even
very
I have.
special.
I'm getting goosebumps when I hear these exact words from you. Yeah,
So,
I
and there
can
is
feel.
absolutely, so today, and thankfully that the last 3 years that I've been able to follow this, and I think it's his wish that I've been able to follow this. Today, I chant, all his mantras.
Mm.
I read Sai Chalisa, Sai Bhavni, Sai Kavach, Sai Aarti, Sai 108 names, Mala, Sai Vandana. So I read, I offer the Sai Hog Aarti, right? So that I do every day twice, right? It takes me, close to an hour every day. But I make sure that I do that every day, and it's His grace that the last 3 years I am able to do it every day twice, and there hasn't been so far any reason that I have not been able to do it in a day. But that also, right? I don't think that I do it. Uh, even if I miss it one day, I don't think I'll feel bad because I don't think Baba is, thinks of things like that. While I feel very
He
happy
just needs the
that I'm
love
able to.
from you, the affection
Yes,
from you that you have for your parents. The same affection
yes,
you must have for him.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so there is nothing that, whatever is cooked at home, I offer that to him as bhog every day. Of course, while, he is okay eating everything, but, there
Mm.
is, Narayan also in the temple, so I don't give non-veg.
Non-veg,
Uh,
yeah.
Yes, and as it is also mentioned in Sai Charitra, in one of the chapters, where he said that even while having your food, if you offer him first in your mind that I'm
Yeah,
offering this
just
to you
remember
first,
him. Yeah.
yes, that itself is like offering to him,
Mm.
and I practice that very, very religiously, right? So I make sure that every time I'm having something in my mind, whether it is veg, non-veg, whatever, I first in my mind offer it to him and then have it, right? So there are some small things, which have now become part of me, right? And at my home, started with me, and today I think uh, my entire family is drawn to him very, very strongly. Even I have twins who are 2 years old, and they are also very drawn to me, right? Uh, my son, my daughter, they will kiss him, they will hug him. Their morning, so there's of course Sai Baba. photos and idols in my bedroom as well. The moment they open their eyes, they call him Nanu for some strange reason, right? So
Wow.
the moment they open their eyes, they'll be like Nanu, right? And then they'll go to the idol, they will touch the feet of the idol, they'll do like this, they will give me the blessing. And there are, so I'm sure my Instagram also has photographs of them kissing Sai Baba, the idol behind me. Uh, they will
Oh,
kiss him, they will hug him, right?
and
So
you
they'll do
also
all
sent
of this.
some of the photographs to me, I remember. Yes, they
Yes.
are very much blessed, and from this young age, they are so much drawn towards him. They are so much attracted to him. This is indeed his blessing, and yeah, they are
Yeah, I think.
lucky to be like brought up in a devotee of families, like a
Yeah, I
family.
think it is all his wish.
Yeah,
It's all his wish. I think,
yeah,
as I said, that I, kind of
mm,
don't like to, and I wouldn't want to take credit for any of this, right? While a lot of people say that, kids learn what they see, right?
yes,
Uh,
absolutely. They
but
absorb everything
but
like a sponge.
yeah, but I would say that, for them to, for me to be able to show it to them as well, I think it's in a way his desire, Sai's desire. So I think there are these. So today, I think, so he's my everything, right? So while I believe in every god, right?
Yes.
But even when I'm calling out for any other god, it is I call his name, right? Because
Yeah, it
I
automatically
think for
becomes
me.
like even I love all the gods. Ma Kali is very dear to my heart. Lord Shiva is very dear to my heart. Krishna is very dear. Whenever I read Ramayana, whenever I read Bhagavad Gita, it's like Baba is himself teaching me, is giving me the Upadesh in form of Lord Krishna. Because I have noticed this that whenever I read Bhagavad Gita, it's more of like the theoretical lesson that Krishna is imparting. The moment I open Sai Satcharitra, the same thing is practically demonstrated and explained in that. So I don't find any
Absolutely.
difference.
Absolutely. I think it's important to, and it's changed me also a lot, right? So today, and these are all, changes in me which I have felt myself, right? Uh,
Mm.
the desire to help others, right? The desire to feed the hungry, right? Be it a, you know so I have, two dogs at home who are, as much a part of my family. But I also feed a lot of, stray dogs in our society, right?
Oh, yeah.
I try to do a lot of, in whichever capacity I can, I try to help others, right? Uh, and there are times when I'm not able to, but again, one of the stories of Sai, he says that even if you're not able to help somebody, don't be rude to that person, right?
Yes.
It's okay to not be able to help. You may not be able to help everybody at all points of time, but try not being rude, right?
Mm.
That is something which I try to follow, right? And this has been a very, I would say, a change which I can feel in myself, right? I wasn't like this till I became his devotee. There were certain things which were very very different in me, right? And today when I look back and think about me, 4 years back, uh, to me today, uh, I see a lot of these changes have happened, and a lot of these changes are because of my love for him, right? Because
Yes.
so
Yes.
I all the stories of Satcharitra, I have read them multiple times, and every time I read, I get a new lesson, new,
Mm.
kind of learning from the story. So all of this is something which has helped me be very different from what I was earlier, and
Yeah, even
I
I have
keep
like
saying that
started reading Satcharitra from maybe 2014 or 15 when I was in class 9 or 10, maybe. And since then, it has been like I have made it a habit, a part of my life. Every morning I read at least one chapter and start my
wonderful.
day.
I am not able to, maybe read one chapter, but I have done the Parayan
But
a
yeah,
couple
yeah,
of
yeah.
times.
As per
Yeah.
your
So
convenience, whenever possible, you.
absolutely, absolutely. I don't, so my, mom at times asks me, can I
Mm.
give this as bhog? Can I give that as bhog? I like, you can give everything. You don't have anything, give a biscuit. It's okay,
Yeah.
right? As long as you are giving it with a clean heart, he accepts it. And Baba doesn't ask for anything else, right? He doesn't ask, uh, for lavish things or this kind of food, that kind of
No,
food.
just
Whatever
simple.
you have,
Even if you offer simple course food with a lot of love and affection and devotion, it's accepted.
absolutely. I think these are some things which I
Mm.
very difficult to, Pratamji, very difficult to, kind of put words to these emotions, right? Because it's very difficult, right? What is it?
Yes.
There's so many times, right? There have been times when I have gone to bed thinking about him and asking him that, please give me darshan in my dreams, and he would give that, right?
Wow.
And now
You're fortunate.
to somebody who doesn't believe, they say that, because you are going to sleep thinking about him, you're getting that in your dream. But that's their, thinking. For
Mm.
me, I asked him to come in my dreams, and he came in my dreams. For me, that is special, right? And
Yes.
so there haven't been a single instance. Again, one incident that I remember, and I had shared that story also with you on your page, is
Mhm.
the day we were supposed to take our babies for their mundan, right? And I live in Bangalore. We were taking them to a temple which is known as Chikka Tirupati, which is close to where I live in Bangalore.
Mm.
And in the morning, I was supposed to take my parents and everybody else uh, for the mundan. And because it's the first time that the first mundan, and it is special, so I wanted the entire family to be there. And the evening before that, my father suddenly fell in, right? Suddenly, out of the blue, right? And he had sudden shivering and very high fever.
Oh,
So 103 fever, suddenly, in the evening. And we were very scared, right? We were scared to the extent that we didn't know, like, how to correct it, whether he'll be okay. Forget about him joining us. We weren't
hmm.
sure whether, we only will be able to go or not, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so I prayed to him. I gave him his Baba's Udi, and I prayed to him that, Baba, please take care, and kind of make sure that he gets okay. Uh, and remarkably, the next day morning, he was absolutely fit. No fever, no problem. We went for the mundan. We had a very, very smooth, the puja there, the ceremony there. We had absolutely smooth, and he had no problem, no problem,
Wow.
right? So then, again, there was another health scare for my father, and the doctor anticipated something very serious, right? Which might require a brain surgery or something like that.
Mm.
And I again prayed to him, and I said that please, and I had shared this story with you as well, uh, that please take care of him. He is not that age where he can go for a brain surgery. Um and The same day evening, another doctor came, and he saw the report, and he said that it doesn't look like that, and he definitely doesn't need a surgery. Medicines he needs to take, but he doesn't need a surgery. He does not require one, right? And at that time, I had, this was in September last year, and that is when I had prayed to him that, Baba, if you listen to me, I will definitely make sure that in the next 6 months I will go to Shirdi and bow down in front of you. And in my mind, I had decided that by March I will do that, right?
Wow.
And this year, 31st March, I was in Shirdi, and it was a Thursday. It was Ram Navami, uh, and and I could, I knew somebody who gave me a very, very good darshan. I could, touch Baba's samadhi. I could get the flowers from the samadhi, and that too on a Thursday and on
The
Ram Navami.
occasion of Ram Navami.
So it was Ram Navami day, and it was a Thursday, which is a special day for Baba, and it was Ram Navami, which is again a special, occasion for Baba, right? And
Yes.
it was 31st of March. So my wish to make go and see him uh, within March, that was fulfilled, and it was fulfilled on such an auspicious day, right? And the darshan was so beautiful. The darshan is always beautiful, but this time
Mm.
it was. way more special because I could touch his samadhi, get the flowers from his samadhi. I shared photographs of that the flowers from the samadhi
Yes, I
also with you.
remember.
Right?
Yes.
So I think in a way I feel that uh, a lot of these things that have happened uh,
When it
in
comes
a
to
way it makes me
expressing
feel
our gratitude and like towards him for everything that he has done, we really lack words. Just a mere thank you
absolutely,
or any word will fall short, way shorter
absolutely.
to express the gratitude that we possess in our hearts for him.
Absolutely. I think the best way to say a thank you to him is following what his teachings, right?
Instructions,
Uh,
yes.
yeah. So that is the best way. Like what he says, right? Be good to everyone. Try to help
Mm.
people in need. Feed the hungry, right? Those are things which he teaches, right? And
And it's a great
you know
thing, it's a great message that you are conveying through this conversation.
you may pray every day, you may not pray every day, you whatever you do, right? If you
Yes.
are following, if you love Baba, if you are a devotee of Baba, instead of following a routine of pujas and all of those,
Mm.
whether if you can do that, wonderful. But if you are not able to do that also, right? But even if you remember him once with a clean heart, and more
Yes.
importantly, if you do what he wants his devotees to do, right? Uh, that is the best way to say that Baba, I love you, right? Because whomever you are helping, you actually kind of doing things that he wants you to do, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's human for us. Like, I think we are all human beings. We end up doing things which are not to we end up hurting people. We end up sometimes saying bad things, right? We are all human beings,
Yeah, we
right?
are
We are not
all
God.
like, yeah, human beings and we tend to make mistakes. It's a normal,
Yes.
natural human
So whenever
tendency.
you whenever you made a mistake, if you realize it, go and say a sorry, correct
Yes.
yourself. So that's it, right? You don't really need to. We not Baba doesn't expect us to be perfect, right?
Mm.
He knows that whatever we are doing, there is some our imperfections are also His creation, right? So
Yes.
as is our perfection. But what is important is when you realize your mistake, you should go and accept it, and you should apologize for it, and that's it. And I think don't repeat that mistake, right? So
Absolutely.
I think I try to follow that in my life, right, to a great extent. I have my own faults and flaws as well, but so and I'm okay with it, right? So but the moment I realize that I have done something which I shouldn't have done, uh, I make sure that I go and correct it and I go and apologize. And that's something. These are some behavior changes, Pritamji, which I was talking about, which has come
Mm.
in me, which wasn't there earlier. Right?
Yes, it is not
Today
only
these
you, all
things
the
are very
devotees
different.
who have previously come to this conversation with me, uh, they have all said the same thing, that positive changes that Baba's presence in their life has brought. And yes, how the way they have become more calmer, more uh, like they like we don't retaliate anymore. Even if people are ridiculing us, people are shouting at us, sometimes it feels like okay, it's okay. We always don't
Yeah,
need to prove ourselves right, to prove our point
yeah,
of view all the time. It's not necessary.
absolutely,
Sometimes
absolutely.
absolutely okay to just
Yeah, and
keep.
I think it's very important to understand that you know whatever is happening around us, uh, we are playing a we are a character in this play, right?
Yes, we are all
Never
puppets
think
in the
that
hands of Lord.
absolutely. Absolutely. But you should do what is good, what is right, right? Because God also doesn't tell, or Sai doesn't say that, leave everything to Him and you don't work hard, right? We
Yes,
need to work hard. We
absolutely.
need to do our part. We need to do our part with honesty, with, complete, earnestness. So that all we need to definitely do. But at the same time, right, there is, importance to bring in some of these positive changes
Yes,
and to whatever extent possible, right? And but if you end up doing something which you are not expected to do, and the moment you realize, you should go and correct it, right? And that is fine, right? So we don't really need to be perfect, right? We are not saints, right? We are also human beings. Um,
so
yeah,
yeah.
I think these are some things which is which has made me and I am today I'm very I'm very calm, and um, so my day starts with uh, prayers to him. My day ends with prayers to him, and during the course of the day also, I don't know how many times I remember him.
Yes.
So it makes
This is
me
what is
feel
needed.
that, yeah, it makes me feel that all is well. All
Yes.
is well, and nothing can go wrong, and he's there to take care, right? So that's my love for him, and I think um, his love for me is way more than my love for him,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
that's
If we
that's
were, if we take two steps towards him, he takes 10 towards us.
yes,
And
yes,
yeah, right at
absolutely,
the beginning of this conversation, I told you that how time flies, you can't even, it's like a few seconds or a few minutes. We already have approached the end of this conversation, and it was so good to, for like for me, I'm like, it's an honor to be a part of a conversation with a devotee like you. From this conversation, I believe that it was more of like, I take away a lot of things from this conversation for myself. It was like, yeah, I learned many things from you, and I hope you also liked the conversation.
absolutely, Pratham. I think as I said at the beginning itself, uh, it's wonderful to be part of your family, and through you, you're getting to know so many leelas of Baba, so many you shared those leelas of Baba. It kind of makes me feel very special that I am able to, go through all of this, the photographs that you share, the stories of the other devotees that you share, and for me to be able to be part of that family is a very special feeling, and I thank you and thank
Members like you,
all other
sincere
followers.
devotees like you, constitute to make this family. You all are a part
Thank
of
you so
this
much.
family. And
Thank you.
yes,
Thank you.
that has made the
Thank you so much.
Instagram page so blessed. And I am so blessed to be associated with like minded people, with devotees like you. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you,
Om Sai.
Pritam. You and Sairam.
Yes.